and welcome to the GameBeast Podcast, guys. Where three, sometimes more, friends get together every week, talk about the latest in gaming news. As always, we are joined today by myself, Kyle,
Hello.
and Stu.
Hey.
How you guys? How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm good.
Good.
I'm thinking maybe
Tired?
for episode 100 we should get a fourth even, a fourth
That
person.
should
Oh,
definitely be it.
Push the boat
Yeah.
out, just
Deal.
to prove.
And then we'll have to change the intro forever.
Yeah.
forever and a day, yeah. So, shimmying on. What you guys been up to this week? Anything good?
Nah, not really. Just more life stuff, like rearranging the front garden, putting new stones down and stuff, and work.
Ugh, work.
Just adult things.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of adulting this week. Not a huge amount of time for games. Tired, very tired. We're effectively a day late on this episode because I think two of us were knackered. I don't know if you were knackered as well, Parky.
Always knackered, mate. Always.
It's been a rough week, and today, interestingly enough, was the first face-to-face appointment I've had with a client since before the pandemic. That's insane.
Whoa.
And it was really weird.
Pow, pow, pow.
Pow, pow, pow. So I'm
Almost back to normal.
for about 3 years, well, not for quite 3 years, but almost 3 years, I've managed to just deal with everything by email and phone. And then just today, it was like, no, you better come in. But it wasn't too bad.
What can you say?
Wanted to see my face, so it wasn't too bad. And we're still not allowed to make drinks for people, so I didn't have to do that. But yeah, other than that, not a lot. It's been a quiet hiring week.
Yeah, same here, man. Nothing but work. Work
Mhm.
and the joy, you know.
Work.
Did have
Yeah.
this is my second day off now, so back to work tomorrow morning. Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. So what you say you haven't been playing any games, Stu? So what
I
have you been doing?
I have been playing games when I've had the chance, but I finally finished Elden Ring. I'm finally finished with Elden Ring, should I say? Because obviously I'd finished the story last episode. But I've got the Platinum Trophy now. I did all 3 endings. My final playthrough only took me 3 hours. Very proud of that. I absolutely stormed through the game.
And there's
One
six endings?
Yes.
There's 3 that you need for the platinum, but there's
Three-
the
there's
additional
three-
3 that you could get, right?
Yeah, there's 3 endings that are tied to trophies, and 3 additional endings, none of which I have, but I am actually willing to go back for. Usually when I get a platinum for a game, that's me done with it. But with a very rare exception of this game, Elden Ring, I am very tempted to just continue playing after I've had a bit of a break from it. And Sifu I've been back to a couple of times, even though I've got the platinum for that, because it's so fun. But when I have had a chance, I've been playing Slay the Spire, that PS Plus game that we got for April.
Yep.
How's that?
It's fucking awesome. Honestly, it is so good. It's so clever. It's definitely not a big budget blockbuster style game. It's a card game, effectively. It's kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, but without the monsters, because you play as a character and the cards you play are the actions you perform. So like strike or defend and bash and
Wasn't that a
things
Kingdom
like that.
Hearts type thing?
It was like
Kind
memory.
of, but it's but they did it way better than Kingdom Hearts did.
Not difficult.
It is similar because you get like an energy counter and different cards cost different energies, but you can combo them together. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different classes. I think I've only unlocked 3 so far, but I've only played as 2. So you start off with a soldier who's all about raw attack power and building defense, and he has an attack called Body Slam, and You block attacks with the amount of defense you build, but Body Slam uses your defense stat as attack power instead. It's very clever. And the other character I've unlocked is like a assassin type, so it's all about defending and poisoning the enemy, and you can build poison. I got a trophy. Yes, I popped a trophy yesterday because I used a combo of poisoning the enemy. Then I used a card called Catalyst, which, when upgraded, because you can upgrade your cards, triples the amount of poison count that the enemy has. But I had 2 of them, so I tripled it from 20, 60, and then tripled it again up to 180. And if you increase poison past 99, you pop a trophy. And I was like, oh, it's very satisfying trophies. Like, you do things because you think you're being clever with combos of cards, and then all of a sudden you get rewarded for it, and it's like, yeah, that was a good idea. Well done. It's very satisfying. I've technically beat it, but only with one character. So I've rolled the credits on the game. It's very short. It's literally a roguelike where you climb a ladder. There's 3 acts. You die, you go back to the beginning, you start with a fresh deck. And as you climb the ladder, you get more cards to add to your deck, and relics and stuff that increase or change how things work. And it's very, very good. Try it. It's really good. At least add it to your library if you haven't already. Highly recommend
all the games go to library. That's just the standard now.
Yeah. It is the perfect game to just get home, chill on the sofa, and just play.
Not SpongeBob then.
Definitely not SpongeBob. SpongeBob can literally go and die. My son is obsessed with that game.
Is it not an easy platinum?
I don't care if it is. I don't care if it is, because the controls really fucking suck. Really, really suck.
It's an old game,
it's
not new.
PS2 remaster, I believe.
Yeah.
But even the remaster itself is quite old at this point. And it is definitely a PS2 era platformer.
Yeah.
The controls suck.
Very janky.
Character weight is all off. The targeting is off. The voice acting is awful. The audio cues are so repetitive. Oh my god, no. Don't even bother. Unless you've got children. In fact, even if you've got children, don't bother. Hide this from your kids.
I got the mind of a child. Does that count?
Yes.
Alright. Downloading it tonight. Anyway, Carl, what about yourself, man? What have you been playing this week?
Nothing, to be honest. I don't even think I've touched Elden Ring this week.
Good God.
Oh wait, no, I might have done. I did.
You did a bit.
Yeah, I did a bit. I did play for about an hour and a half.
You're approaching the end, you know?
Yeah, I've beat the
Odskin duo you beat?
Yep.
And
then I got a little bit lost.
Yeah, I did the same.
That place is easy to get lost in.
Well, I thought I got to an area that I forgot I used one of the stone sword key things. So I went into it and I thought, oh, okay, so obviously progression is this way. I mean, it made me find where I needed to go, but then there's this big dragon, and I was like, okay, so kill the dragon, and then there's literally nothing else behind it. There's a platform with an item on that gives you like a few runes, and I'm like, oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Either way, I'm now at the boss that's in that area. I don't remember what it was. I had to turn off before I fought it.
Oh, the beast clergyman.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Who is a important character for?
Yep. No spoilers. No spoilers.
No, we shouldn't spoil that because it's quite a key character in the story.
Well, I did phase 1, and then I got on phase 2, and then died, and then I was like, yeah.
Phase 2.
So...
Yeah, phase 2 is brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Did you know is when you first enter the room, if you've collected all of the death roots for him, it actually changes what he says to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought I recognised him. Is that the guy that does the death root thing at the top of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gives you all the beast attacks and that. Yeah.
That's alright, I've only handed him 2 because I wasn't really going to go tracking him down.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that fight is probably the hardest boss fight. It was for me. It was the hardest boss fight for me by far.
Mm.
uh,
To be fair, the ending for me was one of the harder bits.
Against the second to last or the last?
The last, second to last was
The
alright.
last.
He
Oh,
takes a
okay.
lot of damage when you're a melee fighter,
I'm
but
yet to be
the
defeated
last
by
is
the
just
last boss.
moving everywhere. You're chasing him down and he's attacking you the whole time. Yeah, that was a pain.
Yeah, there's a couple of attacks from the last boss that we won't spoil because Kyle hasn't been there yet, but there's a couple of attacks that are difficult to dodge. But I'm yet to die to the last boss after 3 playthroughs. So
Lucky you.
yeah, I think I just must have got it. Just clicked.
Yeah.
The one before it though, yeesh.
Oh yeah, he's got one devastating attack.
Absolutely, it just keeps coming and coming. You'll have fun with that, Kyle.
Good luck,
I
Kyle. That's
can't
what
wait.
we're trying to say.
Yep.
You'll have fun, no doubt. But myself, yeah, I've also been playing Elden Ring, man. I've done my first playthrough twice now because I saved Scum to get the second ending because I didn't want to do that massive thing, and it turns out I'm going to do it anyway. So
Was that Rani's ending then?
Rani's,
Ending.
yeah, I did Rani's ending because I didn't want to do a massive quest again, and then I'm like, you know what, I might as well do it because I'm going to get down to Nokron and get the nice weapons and stuff like that. So then I can
Fair
dual wield the Moonblade greatsword thing.
Yeah. I planned ahead. I did Rani's first because that's the longest, and then Frenzied Flame, then regular. Hence why my last playthrough was only 3 hours because I only did the regular ending.
I'm thinking about doing save Scum and doing the regular ending to get the trophy, and then doing the Dung Eater one.
Oh yeah. That's supposed to be like the conical canonic. That word.
What did you just call me?
The conical bad ending. That's not the word. Conical. Is it
Canon.
conical?
Canonically.
Conical. Canonical. No. Cones.
So
Cones
as you can tell,
everywhere.
guys, we all struggle with English.
That's supposed to be
English
the
is
bad
not
ending, right?
our
Well, there's 2 bad
that's like
endings,
the
one of
worst
which
of
is
the
the
worst
frenzy.
endings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Frenzy Flame's pretty bad.
I don't know, because you survive.
Yeah,
Kind of.
you do.
And then
In a
that
way.
weird witch girl survives too. That's why I
Yeah,
kind of want it to be,
yeah.
a second
I think
game just so you can
yeah.
fight her. That'd be great.
There'll probably be some DLC of some sort.
Yeah.
Same.
Anyway, what are we looking forward to this week? Well, the future, I guess.
The future.
The future. What we got?
We're in a bit of a dry spell for like AAA big budget titles now, so I'm looking forward to eventually. I do want to play Ghostwire still. I have seen so many reviews that are so mixed now, and I'm like, oh god, I've just got to either bite the bullet and buy it or wait till discount. Because I watched Skill Up's review and it really shook me on my definite purchase. I was like, oh shit. Because as far as I can tell, even though the premise of the game is really cool, it's like a typical Ubisoft style map markers galore affair with the open world, and there's something ridiculous like 22,000 collectibles. And granted, you get a couple of hundred every time you pick up one, so you go around collecting souls. And you get a couple of hundred every pickup, but that's still a shitload of pickups, like 400. I was like, oh, that's
I don't know
kind
why
of.
the flags from Assassin's Creed just pop back in my head.
It's exactly that. And that's kind of like, even though the gameplay looks kind of cool, and I really like the setting and the lore behind the game because I really like Japanese mythology and things like that. I don't know if I want to run around and collect 200,000 million souls for hours on end. So I've either got to make the decision that I'm not going to get the
If
platinum
there's a
and just
map
play it.
like showing you where they are, it might not be that bad. But
Yeah, maybe. If I go into this game with absolutely no intention of getting all of the trophies, then I'll enjoy it. Because to be honest, I went into Elden Ring without the intention of getting the platinum, but then by the time I finished my first playthrough, I was like, oh, I've almost got the platinum. Let's go.
I really thought the trophies would be a lot harder on this.
Me too. It's definitely the easiest From Software trophies wise.
And people are still complaining how hard it is. Like,
The people that now I've got enough experience to say, and I think we all have enough experience to say, well, to at least form a good opinion on this, that if you think that this game isn't accessible, you haven't played it yet.
you haven't played it right.
Simple as that. It is as simple as that. There is
You've
always a
leveled
way
up
around
all your
things.
abilities at the same time, rather than focusing in one.
Yeah, there is a way around everything in this game, even if that way around it is to completely ignore it and never ever fight it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My second playthrough, I'm just going through, just killing everything that walks in front of me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to making a decision as to when I'm going to buy Ghostwire. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to play Slay the Spire.
All right. What about yourself, Carl?
What am I looking forward to?
That's the one.
I'm looking forward to Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Ooh. Please tell us more.
It's a new game that was announced yesterday / today,
Uh-huh.
depending on time zones.
Disney
It's
Dreamlight.
essentially a free-to-play game being released by Disney for PS4, PS5, I think Steam, probably Xbox as well.
Animal Crossing with a Kingdom Hearts twist.
It's literally Animal Crossing but Disney. It's like The Sims meets Animal Crossing in a free-to-play game. So it's going to be full of microtransactions, and I cannot wait.
Oh yeah.
I cannot wait to
No
spend
Rosebud cheat then.
all my no. I can't wait to spend all my real life money on virtual stuff, so I can have a purple Disney bed frame and like go fishing with Goofy and all that sort of stuff. You know.
Oh my god.
Decent. Well worth it, I'm sure.
I'm not gonna lie, Kyle. I don't see what you're seeing here.
It looks perfect for Disney adults. Yes.
I'm looking at a screenshot here. There's a hipster dude in what looks like golf trousers and a
You
beanie.
can create your own character. It's totally like hip and immersive.
And he's just chilling with Ursula from Little Mermaid.
Yep. Because
in his golf trousers.
Yeah.
Oh, you can zoom in. Amazing.
The heroes.
Oh, he's got a Buzz Lightyear top on as well. Fabulous. Wow.
So if you are interested,
I'm sure you'll have a great. Oh my God! You can play the flute to a mermaid. And hang on a minute. No, right. This is completely taking me out of the immersion here. There's a dude on the beach dancing to the flute with a pair of headphones around his neck.
That's your character. You can create your own character and be whoever you want to be.
But it doesn't fit in the. Oh
God. The character scaling looks totally out of proportion. Like you watch Monsters Inc. and you think, okay, they're meant to be massive, and then this human is like pretty much the size.
Well, actually, Mikey was only just about the same size as Boo, right? Or maybe a bit bigger.
Yeah.
So that would make Sully about our height, if not a bit smaller.
All right, maybe the scaling for him is fine then.
He was just very broad. All right, well, I'm sure you'll have a great time with that.
Yeah, either way, no, I'll probably, after Elden Ring, I'll probably play Horizon. It's the next thing I'm looking forward to.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Good point.
All right, I guess we're going to move on.
As
time is ticking away.
It is.
Halo Infinity finally gets Season 2.
Hey.
We can all hear how happy we are about it, right?
Yeah. I can't wait to hear all the new things they've added to Season 2.
Yeah, more glitches. More glitches and a different grenade that costs you £500 per
Oh, God.
grenade. Season 2 of Microsoft's latest entry in its flagship title, Halo Infinite, will finally release on May the 3rd. After 6 months of waiting, Halo fans have been treated to 3 new game modes. Whew. King of the
Ooh.
Hill, Land Grab, which basically just sounds like domination, and
It is.
Last Spartan Standing, which is just, whatever. It's normal game modes. The latter being Halo's take on Battle Royale, and 2 new maps, Catalyst and Breaker. That's right, only 2.
Wow.
Mhm.
2 new maps.
Wow.
3 new game
Fuck.
modes.
It's only taken them what, a year,
Yeah.
2 years,
Well, it's
5
six,
years, 7
six-
years.
yeah, 6 months since release, but how long is it in development for?
Yeah.
So 343 Industries have seriously got something wrong with their management, obviously.
Also, no offense, but why would you wait 6 months to do a season? You either jump on
Oh
the
my
hype and
God,
you
I
do
know.
one of these things where you get a season per month, or you have like an annual season, or every 2 months or something. 6
Yeah.
months is a
Far
very
too
long
long.
time.
Far too long, yeah. Anyway, sorry, we cut in there.
So
Continue.
anyway, 343i have stated that Forge, the extensive mapmaker toolset fans are used to, having either on or near release, will still not be ready until Season 3. But a beta will launch in Season 2. Yay!
Yay.
So when is that? Well, according to 343i, Season 2 will span, oh dear, 6 months, and fans are not happy. Well, guys, what do you think? What do you think of this announcement? Was the live service model a mistake?
I think 343 have some serious issues. 6 months is way too long to wait for season 2 in the first place, and then to announce right off the bat that season 2 will also be 6 months long. There's no surprise that even I have one very hardcore Halo fan friend, like extreme hardcore Halo fan, and on this announcement he's quit.
He's gone to play Doom Eternal.
Because he's quite rightly said he's waited 6 months, 2 new maps, and technically 2 new game modes because the Battle Royale sounds like shit. And the Battle Royale, to me, does sound like shit, but we'll talk about that after this. 343 have something like 750 employees, and I think their excuse was, and this is slightly jumping ahead a bit in the script, I know, but I'll drag it kicking and screaming into this bit for now, because of the team's mental health, which is fair enough, or it would be fair enough if they didn't have 750 staff members. Are you telling me that the management is so poor at that studio that all 750 staff members are burnt out and all 750 staff members are struggling with their workload? Because if they are, then the management needs to change, because the management hasn't managed anything. You could
Change the
take
management.
you could take 50 devs, if that. And I know I'm not a developer. I have 2 developer friends, one of which is an artist, the other of which is a writer. But I have it on good authority that it does not take an enormous team to make a map for a shooter. You could take 50 devs and crank out a map pack.
Yeah,
Not 2 maps, a map pack. You know, remember back in the day when we got map packs of like 6 maps for Call of
Used to
Duty?
be
Yeah, we had to pay
6
for
Yeah.
maps. Oh,
them.
used to get some free stuff as well. Used to be great.
You could take a team of people, put everyone else on rest or light duties, whatever. Crank out some maps. Then those 50 people that work on the maps, it's their turn to rest. Get some more people in. Work on some game modes. Work on some more maps.
I'll be right back.
It just, the excuses don't seem legitimate to me. Or, well, put it this way. if you're talking to me as a human being and saying our mental health of our team matters, I'll say yes, the mental health of your team absolutely matters. Great. But if you're talking to me as a consumer and I say, I want to give you my money, what have you got? And you say nothing because the mental health of our team matters, I'm going to tell you, I don't care. I want to give you my money. What have you got to give me?
Take my money to heal them. They will feel better.
Take my money, bitch. Give me some content as a consumer. And
Yeah, I get
what
you. I get exactly
what are
where
the
you're coming
business?
from.
Who do the businesses care about more? Consumer me or human me?
Got to be consumer, innit? 'Cause
Exactly.
that's
Else
the
they
one
wouldn't be
cranking
in
the
the
money.
business. Yeah. It's a live service. A live service that is not providing a service.
But you said, well, your mate said that the battle royale idea sounds rubbish, and I actually disagree. I think it
Really?
sounds all right.
All
Yeah, so
right.
it's going to be a different formula to what we're used to. Free for all, 12 players, big team battle maps with combined loadout and 5 respawns. It basically, if a player gets a kill, they get an upgrade to a different weapon similar to Escalation Slayer.
Mhm.
The match ends when one player remains. See, that sounds to me like gun game from the old original CODs. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty nice. Apart from you get 5 lives, so it kind of mixes it up a bit. I quite enjoyed gun game back in the day. It was no
I guess
sticks and
so,
stones
yeah.
from Black Ops, but
No. But
it was pretty
gun
fun.
game was always like a party game that you could have a laugh with, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't really class a battle royale as a party game. I'd class it like as a highly competitive game mode. And I think that the people that were looking forward to a battle royale have
Probably
not
been
been
playing
satisfied by
Fortnite
this.
without the building, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
And in their favorite shooter world, Halo. It just I don't know what it is I don't like about it, because it takes away from the team aspect of battle royale. Because I don't like playing battle royale solo. I found playing Warzone, for instance, solo a bit dull. I really enjoyed
I'm
playing it.
playing Warzone a bit though.
Yeah, very good point. But when I did enjoy it, which was when it was relatively new, I
With a
enjoyed
group,
playing as
innit?
teams, as a group, because it's exciting and you really do work as a team. Because if you don't, you die. And if you get downed and get taken out, it's up to your team to be able to survive and bring you back. If you're in a free-for-all battle royale, that automatically writes off any teamwork. If you've got, what is it, 5 respawn? If you've got 5 respawns, then it's just like a regular multiplayer map, just with a limit on how many times you can respawn. And only 12
It's going to
players.
open the door up to Panthers, isn't it?
Yeah,
In the
like,
corner. Get the
only
old
12
school
players
Magnum
as
out.
well. This is just a big team battle with different rules. And big team battle on Halo is I've played very little Halo in my time. I'm not a fan of Halo. I don't particularly like it all that much. But the times that I did enjoy was playing big team battle on big maps with vehicles and, just chucking grenades at people.
We're still slagging off Halo.
We are still slagging off Halo.
Perfect, right.
We're just having a chat about what are your thoughts about the battle royale, Kyle? Because I've made it clear that I don't like the idea. Parky kind of likes the idea. What do you reckon?
I don't like battle royales. I think they've been overdone for a few years now, and
No, so it's changed. So it's like only 12-player battle royale, 5 respawns, and it's solo play only. So it's more like a gun game
so it's basically just
with
Hunger
5
Games.
respawns. Yeah.
It's basically Halo Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nah, probably still not for me.
Nah,
Wait, do you get respawns?
5
5.
respawns.
No. I mean, I'm a
No.
good old-fashioned team deathmatch person. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoy team deathmatch. Land grab sounds good to me because it's domination, but with a twist. And I really like domination in Call of Duty. It's
Yeah.
Team Deathmatch and Domination are my two favourite game modes.
Nothing beats for you running around with a shield, catching a point, and everyone trying to throw grenades at you whilst you just sat behind the right shield.
But to my point, Big Team Battle was the best bit about older Halos, in my opinion, from the very little Halo I've actually played. And it just seems as though that they've removed Big Team Battle from the playlist, which they have done, and I don't think they've put it back in, and instead replaced it with a spin on Big Team Battle that they've tried to convert into a battle royale, but really haven't, because all it is it's a knockout free for all. That's what it's not a battle royale in my eyes, because battle royale to me is synonymous with huge number of players, huge map, teamwork. Because, like I said to you a second ago, I don't like playing battle royale solo. I prefer to play as a team.
Yeah.
And you don't have the option to do that here. So it's not for me, and it's like it seems as though it's not really for many people by the reaction on places like Twitter and whatnot. And I know Twitter is not the best place to glean reactions from, but it's been overwhelmingly negative by the look of it. What was we didn't get a chance to get your opinion on the announcement of the seasons, Kyle, because you had to dash off for a second.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's like every week somebody rings the doorbell and I have to go down. Stuff out. It's like
Put a note on the door. Busy. Come back later.
I could just
Live.
incorporate it into a weekly segment. Who's knocked on the door this week?
Who was at the door?
Ding dong.
It's an actual thing. It happens every week. There's always something. No, I mean, I was going to say, in terms of the level editor, it's like even back in Far Cry 2, they basically created the game engine and then created their own like level editor, and that's where the levels came from.
Yeah.
Like for Halo, how difficult is it to just build a certain amount of assets and say, okay, slap these together? Now, when you think about the Halo levels, it's kind of like if you think of, when you build stuff in Fortnite, it's all just basic slabs knocked together to form some sort of structure.
Yeah.
Halo is essentially just pick a round planet, change the sky color, change the background color, and
a couple of trees or rocks somewhere.
Yeah.
I think we're oversimplifying it somewhat.
A lower level and a higher level. That's basically it, right?
If you want to get deep into multiplayer shooter maps, then it does tend to fall into how many lanes the map's going to have. Is it a 2-lane, a 3-lane, or more?
Mainly 3-lane maps, isn't they?
Yeah.
You got your mid and your left and right, and then that's basically it.
There's your high risk lane, which is usually less cover but faster to traverse. Low risk lane, which is lots of cover. And then a mid lane that's a mix of both, but it depends where the objective would be, for instance, or where the players are congregating. And you need high ground and low ground, and retaliation points. So if someone has a power position, there's always a counter position. They all need working into the map. But people who have been making shooters for years, multiplayer shooters specifically, should already have this in their DNA as a studio. They should already know exactly what elements to include in a map, and then just make concepts of the map and build it, and make the map and make it look pretty and send it out. And I cannot believe, and I was saying this just as you'd gone, Kyle, that they can't just take 50 people from that 750 strong team. All right, fair enough. Not all 750 are gonna be, actual developers. They could be admin staff and support staff and etc. etc. But there is no way they don't have 50 people that can just go off, make maps, and then take a month break because they've deserved it. They've earned it for making these maps, and then they get another team. All right, your turn to make some maps, while the others are making cosmetic options for the shop, and then some other people are working on concepts for new game modes. I mean, we've only got 3 game modes as well, and one of which is in my opinion, not very good battle royale. Another is a twist on domination, which could not have been that hard to come up with. Yeah. And King of the Hill, Not even sure what King of the Hill is. What is it? Let me have a quick read. You
You get more points being on top and getting kills, and then obviously, if you
Basically
get
just
knocked
defending
off,
point,
then
isn't it?
you stop earning points when you're climbing up. It's whoever's on top gets the most
right,
points.
kind of like hard point or
Yeah, and
control,
it's like
I guess.
timed, so it's like say 5 minutes, and then it's whatever. Whoever
Okay.
has the most points wins.
So it's again a game mode that we've seen before.
Yeah, I mean,
In
King of
other
the Hill
game.
was like one of the big game modes in Team Fortress 2 from back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah, that's a very good
What-
point. Yeah. I'm sure hasn't King of the Hill been in previous Halo games, or am I just
Probably.
picking that up?
It might just
Probably.
But anyway,
but
the point is they've not made anything revolutionary here, and it's taken them 6 months to announce this and get it out, which is on top of the development time that was already delayed to release the game in the first place. So,
I
if
think the problem was they might have thought it was a bit too easy, underestimated the whole thing, and then thought, "Crap, we're in a bit of a hole here." Like,
also,
that kind of rolls us
I
into the
genuinely
next
think
one,
that
isn't it?
I think something's gone wrong, and I appreciate that the pandemic threw everything into turmoil, but we've still seen studios like Guerrilla release an amazing game like Horizon.
yeah,
We've still seen From Software release Elden Ring. We've seen indie devs release excellent indie titles like Sifu. Where was the struggle for? I'm sure they struggled. I'm sure 343 struggled, but 343 is a huge team with infinite money from Microsoft. Infinite money. There's no way that Microsoft would turn around to 343 and say, "No, you can't have that until you produce this."
yeah.
That would
There's no
that
money
wouldn't
for
happen
Halo.
with their flagship title. So effectively, 343 has an infinite budget, which we don't know for sure, but it's quite logical to think that, I would say.
So, does the Halo franchise have a future with 343? What do you reckon, guys? It's not looking pretty, is it?
They probably do. I mean, Microsoft is never going to retire Halo for one. It is their big cash grab. Like even Microsoft, when they do their Windows phones or whatever, you get the Cortana assistant.
Yeah.
You've
Well,
got
it's on Windows PCs as well, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's on Windows PCs. Yeah, so obviously that is their biggest, previously selling franchise or whatever else. But I think for this they just pushed the boat too early. They were like, "Oh, we'll make another Halo game. It'll make loads of money. It'll be great." And then they didn't actually think about what they had to put in it. So you've got this jumbled mess. But I think 343 is probably still the best people to look at it because they already kind of know what they're doing at this point.
Are they though? Because now Microsoft own Activision.
I mean, I suppose, but think about with Destiny. Like when Destiny came out, it was a bit of a mess.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
Bungie had, over the time, they kind of refined it and they fixed it through a couple of DLC patches, and it took a while to get there, but there were certain bits where Destiny and Destiny 2 were at the best point of their spans, and it wasn't at the start and it wasn't at the end. It was kind of this good midpoint.
That's a very good point. Yeah, that's a very good point. Which has somewhat changed my answer. Because
Easily swayed when there's a cookie put in front of you. Eh?
not necessarily easily swayed, but it puts it into perspective more that yes, 2 games I thoroughly enjoyed. The first Destiny I enjoyed far more. Had rough patches at the beginning and the end. But
All games do. It's just it comes down to the developers to show how they can overcome them, right?
how is it that we're so far into the live service model though? Because this has been years now that we haven't had a studio nail it yet. 343, do they have a history with Halo still? Yes, I don't think they'd ever take 343. I don't think they'd ever take Halo away from 343. That's not to say they wouldn't strip the team.
Maybe put them on the back burner and bring some new team in.
I mean,
and then 343 can just be like a back-in.
They now own the talent behind Call of Duty, which is notorious or famous, should I say, for high volume content. New maps all the time. Not necessarily new game modes, but they release with so many game modes that actually some of them could do with being scrapped because there's too many. The shooting mechanics, or the gunplay, should I say, in Halo will probably be worked on by 343 veterans because the Halo gunplay is unique to Halo. The story of Halo will probably stay with 343 because, well, Call of Duty's never really been great for its story. Let's be fair.
Well,
but the content
were alright, but
the timekeeping and the productivity and the skill of Activision Studios when it comes to multiplayer shooters is probably Microsoft's ace in the hole now.
You're saying basically like
they could
a cross-party sort of cross-developer.
Yeah, like Raven or Raven, Infinity Ward could provide support because these are all huge studios in their own right.
Yeah.
And there will still be a rotation of creating Call of Duties, but now we're looking at a future where maybe there won't be a Call of Duty every year. So this will free up a studio to provide support on another title, or go off and do their own IP maybe. But if they want Halo Infinite to survive for the 10 years that they're planning to keep it going for, it's going to need some high caliber support.
TLC.
And it makes sense to me that they utilize that expertise from the Activision studios in the multiplayer shooter space to support Halo Infinite, and then we could see Halo Infinite that goes from really rough and let's be fair, it's rough now because it doesn't have half the game modes or features that normal Halos release with, and we're 6 months into its life cycle. It could go from that.
Too little, too late, though.
Hopefully not for the Halo fans. Obviously, it doesn't make a huge difference to me because I'm not an avid Halo fan.
Yeah.
But it would be a shame to see such a huge IP fail because of what is clearly incompetence. You can say that yes, the mental health of our team is important, and like I said to Parky when you were away for a moment, I said yes. Human me would say, as in me as a person, would say, yeah, great, you're looking after your team's mental health. That's important, and I agree with that. But consumer me is, no, fuck you, I want to give you my money. And as a business, they care about consumer me because they're a business.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, to be honest. I think 343 should be given, hey, take the core Halo stuff, develop that, develop the gameplay, develop what you want to do with the guns and stuff. Hand off maybe the battle pass to somebody else that knows how to deal with, constant live service stuff. And then get in, a third company or the management to keep the timekeeping, keep everything on track, sort of thing.
Yeah.
No,
what do you reckon, Barky?
Yeah, I reckon it's a good idea to get in somebody who's dealt with the live service and the Game Pass is a bit more, and because Halo hasn't been known to do sort of this Game Passy type thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
it's the first live service Halo, isn't it? I think Halo 5 had microtransaction elements.
Yeah, but they didn't do like a monthly or a weekly pass.
No, I don't think there was.
Yeah,
it was like a drop pod system or something where you could pay. Yeah, you could like pay for drop pods or something, and you got thing. I can't remember. It's so long ago now.
Kind of like it was in Star Wars Battlefront, where you got a
it was similar. It's similar to that, I think.
I figured it out.
You figured it out.
I figured it out. Alright, are you ready for this bombshell?
Yes.
So, arguably, right, so obviously Halo is owned by who?
343, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Trick question.
But they also own
the players.
Activision Blizzard, correct?
They do.
Yes. Now, Activision Blizzard own a load of other companies, as we know. And
Yep.
what is the top grossing game of all time ever? I would say for mobile to make it easier for yourself.
Mobile? Oh shit.
If I say the
Wait,
top mobile
wait, oh!
game ever, what would you say?
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush, correct. Candy Crush
Yeah.
is owned by King.
King.
King is
Activision
owned
Blizzard
by
King.
Activision Blizzard. So,
Yeah.
turn Halo into a match 3 game. They're the King. Problem solved.
So there you go. Halo can now be played on your handheld consoles, mate.
Yeah, you can play Halo anywhere you go with this special match 3 mode.
Oh my god. Do you know what I find
Yeah.
wild? That no one really appreciates the fact that King, obviously forming part of Activision Blizzard King, accounts for something wild like 70% of their profits through their mobile games. It's nuts.
Well, if you would
Because
look
games that no one gives a shit about, or as us core gamers really don't care about, is actually the biggest money makers.
Yeah, arguably, that's why everybody's moving over to the mobile game market, is because there's so many more people that play mobile games than console games.
But everyone's got a mobile phone.
Yeah, and
Not everyone has a console. Not everyone has a PC. But yeah.
Well, not everyone has a mobile phone that can play a game, though.
It's true.
It's just
Yeah,
easier
true.
for a mobile game. There's no real story. You pick it up for 5 minutes while you're on the bus or something, or while you're waiting, and then you put it down and you carry on later. You don't have to make time for it.
Toilet games.
Well, yeah, if you look at King's list of games,
Speaking of toilets, I think we should move on. As previously reported here on the GameBeast podcast, Ubisoft may be up for sale.
Ooh.
Sources of website Kotaku feel a sale of the French publisher is inevitable as its stock price struggles. The reasons cited for the possible acquisition are Charlie Gilmont leaving means there's be no Gilmont to run the company after. I'm not going to try and say his first name. Retires. Viz? Yes, Gilmont.
Yeah,
retires.
I think it's Yves Guillemot.
Yves, it sounds about right. Ongoing workplace controversy regarding sexual misconduct, senior devs leaving, big projects such as Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is a shame, and Skulls and Bones struggling. Who do we think the potential buyers could be? What do you reckon there, Carl?
King.
Start with Carl this time, yeah.
It's going to be King. King's going to buy
No, not everything could be King, no.
It's going to be King.
No.
Match 3.
Okay, so which company was this again?
Ubisoft.
What? Somebody's buying Ubisoft?
The rumours are that Ubisoft's up for sale because the stock price is struggling. The Yves Guillemot's son, who was the only other Guillemot in the family to be part of the company, has left. Yves himself is nearing retirement, and Ubisoft has famously always been a family-run company, and they obviously fought back the hostile takeover by Vivendi a few years ago, by securing money from Tencent. Boo. But if Yves retires, then if he's got that, if he's faced with the fact that it will no longer be a family company, why wouldn't he sell? I think is where the rumours are percolating from. And also, as we reported previously, that there was a slight slip up in one of the investor calls where they mentioned that offers were on the table, and then were like, if any offers are on the table. So I think that's where this is all coming from. So I don't know. Who do you think might be buying them?
I mean, I found a very sketchy news website that basically says that Microsoft is buying them.
Oh well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yes, Microsoft
is
said to have
it's going to be between Microsoft and Sony, isn't it?
And we'll announce this in the next few weeks.
After
taking over Bethesda for $7.5 billion, no wild rumor seems too unlikely. But Ubisoft is the biggest chunk of Bethesda. I'd honestly feel bad for PlayStation. Like, that's just overkill. I mean, he's not quoting sources here. He's not saying where he's got
it just could be full of shit.
Off the dome.
So I'm gonna
go like.
I'm gonna say now, Sony's buying them, and then if it happens, I'll be a genius and I've got inside information.
Well, I'm going to think outside the box, and I'm going to say
Tencent.
that no, I don't think
King.
I don't think it'll be Tencent. No, get out. I don't think it's going to be like a major player in the gaming space because I think it's going to be like a private
Bank of
investor.
Scotland.
No. No, like a private equity firm or something that sees value in the company and wants to expand their portfolio or something, because it wouldn't make sense to me for Sony to acquire Ubisoft because they've already satisfied their, like live service needs with purchases of, say, Bungie, for instance, and Haven. They're supposed to be making their new multiplayer, whatever. Microsoft, would they purchase Ubisoft? I don't think so. Like Kyle says, it would be overkill, and they need to play it safe at the moment until this Activision deal goes through, because it's so rocky and it's such a minefield. They don't want to be caught to be having such an influence on the market that the acquisition would be blocked. So I don't think it's going to be a big player in the gaming space that buys them if they do sell. I think it's going to be some random private equity firm that no one's ever heard of, and then nothing will change other than the owners. And that's a really boring answer, but that's the way I'm leaning.
So like
Does sound
the
legit.
UAE Prince then, basically.
Hopefully not.
If you think about it this way, football clubs are owned by companies, people
Yeah.
that have
Yeah.
no real say in the club, and you don't think, oh, they're owned by, multi-billion corporation over in
No.
Germany or whatever. You just see the team. So yeah, you could be right. It could just be a private investor that sees the value and thinks, oh, I'll put some money behind this and own it, and then get it back on its feet.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, Sports Direct might buy them. Like they buy everything else. Like Game.
Yeah, no, they should game in the basement.
Yeah. Oh, Parky wouldn't know this, but our local Game used to be opposite Sports Direct. And they're part of the same company. I don't know if you know that or not, Parky.
Yeah.
So now they gave up the specific store for Game. That's now empty. And then they just shoved everything that was in that game in the basement of Sports Direct that was opposite. Now that's where Game is. You have to go down some stairs into the basement, and they've got this shitty little corner, and they've put a desk next to what used to be a changing room. The changing room door is still on it, but that's their stock room now.
Staff room,
Yeah, it's so sad
You could
because I
make it
used to
up, like,
love going into.
you walk
No.
in, and the first floor is like full of all these hoodies and stuff, and
Yeah.
bags and stuff. You go downstairs and you've got women's trainers, and oh look, it's Game.
Game. Oh, it's Game.
Tucked away in the corner, like.
Yeah. It's so they don't even have a sign anymore. I don't think. Oh no, they stuck a sign on the side of Sport Direct, didn't they?
Yeah, a little A4 thing that says Game downstairs.
Oh, it's so sad because I used to love going into Game and
I
just
think it's just
browsing.
I think other games that are in Sports Direct might have a bit more advertisement, but the one we get, it's terrible.
I might have to go to town and see what's saying. We've had a new one open up. Like.
You can make it like a bingo game. Go to your local Sports Direct and see if there's a game store lurking around.
Yeah. It's where I got my PS5 from, but it was in the bottom of Sports Direct. So I was literally stood outside Sports Direct before it opened. And this dude at Sports Direct was like, "Oh, you're keen?" I was like, "I'm not here for you." I ran into the basement. I was like,
we've got a new supply of footballs now. You can keep those.
Get out of the way. I'm here for a PS5. the guy at Game was really mad because it was supposed to be a secret. They had 5 PS5 physicals and 5 digitals, and he was like, "How the hell do you know about this? It was supposed to be a secret." I was like, "Well, I can't tell you how I know, and I can't now say how I know, and I won't, but I know." I knew, and I went and got myself a PS5.
He was angry because he was going to buy all 5.
Yeah, well, I genuinely think they wanted some for themselves, and then word must have spread. Well, yeah, word must have spread because I was actually second in line. Some fucker ran
Because-
past me on the stairs.
Because you put it on Facebook.
But I ended up second in line because some knobhead ran past me down the stairs, and then spent like 10 minutes sorting out their payment details because they weren't prepared. I was like, for fuck's sake, just move. And then by the time because it was to pre-order the console, they didn't actually have the consoles there at the time,
Yeah.
but it was a guaranteed pre-order for the week after. And I looked back after making my pre-order, and there was about 50 people behind me.
Huh.
And I didn't have the heart to say, sorry, mate. There's only 8 left. So
Oh, you should have seen the riots.
I should have counted like up to 8, and I was like, right, you're
Sorry,
the last
guys.
one. Everyone else can go home.
That
Or
would've been
even worse, I should have counted up 7 and be like, sorry, everyone else no. And then there'd be 1 left.
for the guy behind the counter.
Yeah. But anyway, how the hell do we get onto this conversation?
No idea.
No idea.
Dear.
What do you reckon, Parky? Do you think it's going to snap them up if they are?
I reckon Sony might be keen. They might have
Really?
interest in them. But
What would they do
whether
with
or
them?
not they do, I don't know. It's just to keep, because obviously Assassin's Creed and all that quite. It might just keep them floating and make it easier for them to get between them. But I don't know.
I don't
One of
know.
them.
I don't know how much impact Assassin's Creed has on the gaming market anymore. Whether or not being owned by Sony or being owned by Microsoft would change the fate of Assassin's Creed, I'm not sure. I think everyone's burnt out. Not everyone. A lot of people are burnt out from the length of the previous 2 Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, just bring back a Black Flag too. That'd be sorted.
Which is essentially what Skull and Bones is, really, isn't it? How long ago was
Yeah.
Skull and Bones announced? I'm gonna do a live search. Skull and Bones announcement.
Well, we can hear him typing away. Tippity tappity.
Oh yeah. Oh
Tippity tappity.
Well, the first search result is: will Skull and Bones ever be released?
The answer?
When was Skull and
No.
Bones announced? It was first delayed in 2018. Jesus, why is this information so hard to find all of a sudden? It's like they're trying to scrub it. So it was first delayed in 2018, so it was obviously announced before then. I'm gonna guess like 2016 or something ridiculous like that. I'm pretty sure it was announced roughly at the same time as Final Fantasy VII Remake, wasn't it? Anyway, point is, 2017. Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
So 2017, it was announced. It's what, 2022 now. Where the hell is Skull and Bone?
It's one of those that probably got said it was going to come out and then just never really caught any fire. So they probably just scrapped it behind the.
Well, apparently it's still fully in development, allegedly.
Development hell, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. And Beyond Good and Evil 2, I think you alluded to the fact that that's an interesting title. That was announced a while.
It was
ago.
Good and Evil
really
1
cool.
was amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Beyond Good and Evil 1. Did you ever play that, Carl?
No, I don't think so.
It's a very good game. It looked, if you took a glance at it, you'd think, well, that looks trash. To be fair, it does. It looks trash. But playing it, it's really good. And I was actually quite excited about the announcement for Beyond Good and Evil 2. And it just disappeared. And we haven't heard about it since.
All right, time's stretching on, so we better get a move on, boys.
Okay.
Yes.
What about our beloved Division franchise? The next update contained a new mastery mechanics and a new game mode countdown. Looks okay.
Yeah. Have either of you kept up to date with the Division? Because I've been keeping a very loose eye on it.
I still pop on now and then. Just to play it, yeah. I mean,
It's been
I've
a
already
while
got
since I've been
everything and maxed everything out I can do. I'll just
Same,
go on
yeah,
there to help
same.
people with raids now.
Fair enough, fair enough. Countdown is like a time rush game mode, as far as I can tell. It's not been publicly released yet, but Paul, remember Paul Searle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is part of the what do you call it? The the online test servers. I forget the name.
Okay.
But, so he has access to those on his PC. So he's been playing Countdown and he's been trying out the mastery mechanics, and he says it's okay. But if this is all they've got, it's not necessarily the time to come back yet. And from what
Division
I've
3.
seen, I just want Division 3 now. I want them to kill Division 2 because we had our fun, we got everything, and they've essentially fallen into the same disappointment trap that 343 is in with Halo now. It's been too long since any content's been released, and
Unless they bring out a new raid to master and get
exactly a new raid, a new story thread, a whole suite of new weapons and armor, not just one or two new weapons and one or two gear sets. I want a whole new armory if you want to get me back into the Division 2 now. Different difficulties. The new game mode looks fine, I guess. It's more of a hop in for 15 minutes, do stuff, get stuff, go off, rather than a few hour investment like the raids were.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be enough to bring me. But the mastery mechanics look cool. Which is well, it's exactly what it says on the tin. If you know any mastery mechanics from any other games, it's that, but with all the weapons. Well, no, not even the weapons. It's the brands in the division. So different brands and different weapons and stuff have its own mastery rank, and as you increase those, the gear effectiveness increases, and that's it. Which is cool.
That'll be good for your Fenrir builds.
It would, but we
already max mastery. You're going to be slamming.
We already shredded both raids with the gear we've got now. Imagine being more powerful.
15-minute Iron Horse raid.
Yeah, I don't need to be any more powerful. I need new content that is more challenging to give me a reason to be more powerful. So I don't think this will bring me back to the Division 2.
I'm hoping that comes hand in hand. But
hopefully. But as far as the way they've been going so far, probably not.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Carl? Would you get back on Division if they brought out something decent?
No, probably not. I think I've sort of left Division 2 now. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
If there was a third and they brought it back and started it from fresh, then I'd probably get into it, yeah. But
yeah, exactly.
Bring it to the UK, right?
Yeah.
Yes, or go global. I've said this many times. It's so, with the power of the new consoles, there is no excuse. You can fit global, multiple maps, multiple continents.
Maybe play where you live in the world, and then you can travel to other places and then visit theirs.
But New York.
But everything must be in New. No, leave it alone.
We've been to New York. We've destroyed New York, and New York's dead and gone. There you go.
Keep New York. Keep New York. Keep Washington. Add other countries. Let's go to the UK. Let's go to where's not controversial.
Japan or
yeah.
We should go to a different state.
No. I want to go to a different state again. No, I want to see what's happening around the world.
I wouldn't mind.
They can easily tie that into the story. They can easily do it.
I wouldn't mind a Division 3 with sort of a different story, but kind of a continuation. You know, same format.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, all the Division story is about biochemical.
A virus that's escaped.
Was it money. No? Because that's just like really, really pushed into the background, and it's more about everything's gone to shit, and there's biochemical
weapons. Gone to shit because of the virus release.
Yeah,
that's why.
But it doesn't necessarily have to continue being the virus. Yeah. But yeah, I'm of the same mindset. Division 3 would probably pull me back, just as a Destiny 3 would probably pull me back, whereas Destiny 2 probably never will now. because I'm too far out.
I mean, I couldn't even play Destiny 2 now if I wanted to because they killed everything.
Yeah,
I'd have no clue what's going on.
yeah, I have no idea. No idea. I'm too
Unless
far
I
out.
played the new DLC, that was it, the Witches something or other DLC. I think they
Yeah,
get the massive level bonus and loads of
yeah,
stuff.
the Witch Queen. But
but
even
then
then,
still
a lot of
won't.
the story content's been vaulted, so I don't think you can play
which
Forsaken
I thought was
anymore.
a stupid idea for them anyway.
Can we just
I
get
Here's
see.
all of the origins of the game. Yeah, you
just
can't play anymore.
Division 3, but updated with, on the PS5 with a bigger world and more to do?
Please.
That's
Global. Let's go global.
Yeah, go global.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's shimmy on. Here's something me and Stu probably heard a lot of. I am
Yeah.
Millennia,
Yeah.
Blade of Mikola,
Yeah.
and I have never known defeat after patch 104. Elden Ring's patch 104 changed the game balance in late April, making one of the hardest enemies even harder. Players are reporting the late game boss, Millennia. Blade of Mikola is totally broken. I mean, I've beaten her after this patch and I didn't find her to be that broken. But players are players.
All right.
I report. Well, there seems to be a bug in From Software's new update. The Millennia self-heal unconditionally, making more fight more grueling than before. But I have noticed it's not just her; it's every enemy in the game.
Hey, really?
Every boss I've come up against currently, any boss that has a bar, I've used Tish. It's done its attack,
Black Knife
health's
Teeth,
gone
yeah.
down. I'd go to attack it, and then their health bar will bump back up.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't notice
So
that.
it is every boss with a health bar. It happens to. If you don't kill them fast enough, they self heal randomly,
That's
and
nuts.
that
'Cause I
can be
know.
annoying when you've got hardly any health.
Yeah.
Well, I know Melania already self-healed on hit.
Yeah,
But maybe that is the case. Maybe all the bosses are busted in the sense that they just self-heal
I think it
randomly.
was to try and counteract the bleed frost damage that you can mount up because everything was just melting in like 4 combos. I think they just tried
Well,
to
yeah,
boost.
the reason my playthrough only took 3 hours is because, for instance, Queen Renala, one-shot her. Godric,
Yeah,
one-shot him. Didn't have to fight Radahn because he wasn't on the critical path. Who else did you have to fight? You had to fight the boss we won't spoil for Kyle. Not Kyle. Boss we won't spoil for the audience either. Kyle's on him at the moment. He was hard, but by the
I
third
think
playthrough,
Radahn has been nerfed so hard though. Because I
Radahn
went
has
up
been
against
nerfed.
him, beat him
Yeah.
first time, and I didn't have to call. Well, I called, the gold guys, summoned
Mhm.
everybody in.
And you're
None of them
supposed to in
died.
that fight. Yeah.
None
Oh,
of them
really?
died.
That's crazy.
I hit him 3 times, and his health bar went below health, below half, and he did his meteorite strike, missed everything, and then the NPCs just finished him off, and I was just like, oh well, all right.
Okay, never mind.
So everyone's now harder, apart from Radan, who's basically a limp bit of paper blowing in the wind.
So you slightly back on topic. You've beat Melania after the patch, then
After the patch,
again.
me and 2 randoms, obviously, I couldn't do it on my own. Just
Okay.
didn't work out. But yeah, so like I was saying, it's all enemies with health bars just tend to randomly get a boost to their health again. I don't know why or how, but
I beat Melania before the patch, solo, but I don't think I'd be able to do it after the patch, from what I've seen. Well, you haven't been to the Halleck Tree, have you, Kyle?
I don't think so. No, not yet.
No, yeah, you have to go through like that weird invisible assassin town place to get there.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun.
As long as you keep moving, it's fine. You don't tend to
Yeah,
get stopped by
that's
anything.
true, except for the archers.
The
Melania was
archers hit you no matter
hard
what you
though.
do.
Like, I beat Melania solo, but I mean I spent hours and hours doing it. Hours. To the
The
point where
one
I
thing
could
that kept
finally
catching me
dodge
was
that.
her second attack.
Yeah.
When she goes into second, insta kills. Just
Yeah, like the
die.
rock bomb thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to the point where I finally knew the timing of that perfectly, dodged it perfectly every time, and then it was just a case of defeating her in the second phase as a normal boss. It was hard, but very satisfying. That is like the epitome of gratification of FromSoft boss defeats. It was excellent. It was a true. When you land that final hit, it was like controller up in the air and go yes, that kind of.
Yeah.
Finally.
Thank God it's done. I don't have to do this.
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah. And needless to say, I did not go back to the Halley tree on my other two playthroughs because no, no way.
I'm planning to because I got to beat the stupid dragon. Actually, no, I think he's not in the Halley tree.
No, that's not in the Halley tree. It's in the crumbly place, crumbling
Crumbling something.
crumbling,
Crumbling ruin.
whatever it's called.
Crumbling.
Basically,
Farm
where you are
Azula.
now, Kyle, with the
Yeah, where are you on now?
Oh yeah, crumbling farm Azula or something like that.
That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, the flaccid penis dragon is in Crumbling Farm Azula.
Yep.
I didn't understand why he's so difficult to beat. But in his second phase, he just disappears to smoke, comes down, one shots me if I miss time.
Is this the boss that you have to like lay down for?
Yeah.
I accidentally found that with like 80 souls on me, and I was like,
Oh no.
yeah, I know exactly where I am, and I know exactly what happens if I lie down here. So I just went back to the. I just used the map and fast travel. I was like, nope, not today.
Yeah, so I had to go there to get rid of my frenzy.
I beat
Because obviously
that
you got to
dragon.
use your frenzy thing.
Yeah, I beat that dragon as a mage first time. It's one of the few late game bosses that has absolutely no magic resistance whatsoever. Very easy.
Which is
thankfully
surprising considering it's a dragon.
Yeah, it was. But I was grateful.
And now I got to try and beat him with a regenerating health. Oh, joys. As a melee character. Joys.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be alright.
You'll die. I don't know.
Did we struggle with any other bosses and why?
Yes.
Yes.
Two. Two in particular. The beast clergyman whose name I won't reveal. And Horalu, whose alternate name I won't reveal.
Yeah, see, I didn't struggle with the whore.
I did in
the Godskin duo absolutely wrecked me though.
Oh really? I didn't. I thought the Godskin duo were fine.
No,
if you deal enough damage quick enough, then they don't respawn. You just keep hitting their dead body, and it takes off their main health bar.
See, I did not know this. See,
So,
you know all the cheese tactics.
I didn't mean to. It's just it kept doing damage. I was like, oh, okay. And I DPS'd it before they could respawn. So there we go. Why not? But yeah, those two bosses for me were the most difficult in the game, by far.
The Volcano Manor as well. I struggled with that boss because I picked up the serpent spear thing and didn't use it. I was like, he's doing very little damage to this guy.
Yeah, I co-opted that one.
To be fair, I got him down to almost like 5 hits without using the spear.
Fair enough. That's pretty good. I
then
didn't really have a
realised
choice.
The spear was, the way to
Spear is
go.
what you're supposed to use. Well, that harkens back to Demon Souls. Did either of you play the original Demon Souls?
No, I don't think so.
Obviously we've got the remake now, but I played the original back on PS3, and there's a boss that's like a manta ray that flies around in the sky.
Yeah.
And you can only hit it with like magic or bows, or if you pick up the legendary weapon that's near it somewhere, I think you've got to find it. It's secret. If you use that weapon, and it's only against the boss that it works, and you attack with it, it just like does exactly what that spear does against the snake there against Rykard.
Oh yeah.
Big
Just
wind spear.
massive
Yeah.
wind blade, and it just chops the boss up and pretty much kills it in 4 hits. If you don't have that, that boss is incredibly difficult. So that
thought
kind of
that was-
harkens back to that with the wind blade.
I thought that was a good, like a unique tactic. It was nice. It was a
Yeah,
nice change of
yeah,
pace
it's
to
cool.
just pick up a weapon that you know everybody can use and use this specific thing to be.
When you say everyone can use, I had practically 0 dex as a mage when I came up against him, which is why I had to co-op it, because I didn't have the stats to equip that fucking spear.
It doesn't have any stats though, does it? I'm sure I checked it.
I
It
think
doesn't have any requirements
I
anymore.
think there's I think you need like 12 dex.
Yeah, I only had 10.
15 strength or 20 strength or something.
I had 10 dex, 10 strength.
Are they removed that? Because I'm sure when I looked at it, it didn't have any requirements like whatsoever.
Maybe they have, I don't know.
Things, but I didn't think it had any requirements to use it.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I couldn't equip it, so maybe they've changed it. Or maybe I made the decision that my scaling was so poor that it wasn't worth it. I don't know. I forget. Anyway.
Right. Can you think of any other games that suffered from a game-breaking update? Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, Christ, Warzone, The Division 2.
Oh, Division 1 when they nerfed what was it, like the green gear, and they made
they made
first
gear
raid
sets useless.
impossible to do anything.
Yeah. Any other games you got any in mind, Kyle?
No, I was still just dwelling on Elden Ring and how that Astal Voidborn just goes suck off.
Yeah. Which version? Both, right?
Both.
Yeah, as a melee character trying to just run at him constantly as he's
He just teleports away and hurls a meteor at you.
That's the one, yeah. And if you want to do the most damage, you have to hit him in the head, but then he'll just grab you and like insta-kill you.
Yeah, that was a pretty brutal attack. Yeah.
Or you have to hit his head, but then he moves it slightly up so you can't actually hit it.
Yeah. It's definitely not a boss you want to be locking onto, is it?
Games that have been like ruined from updates.
Yeah, suffered from game-breaking updates.
Nothing off the top of my head.
The only things I can think of. Yeah. Any things I can think of that would have been in the spotlight really is like Warzone, where they messed up the skins so they would kind of like mesh out all over the screen, and when people became invisible and people became invincible, and Division
weapon
2
balancing constantly.
Yeah, Division 2 when it wasn't technically game breaking, but they just made poor balancing decisions so that red bar enemies would do 300 million damage in a second, and gold bar enemies, which are supposed to be more powerful, would die to you in a second.
Division.
Yeah, but then that was your build status, wasn't it? If you like stacked up loads of damage against elites, that just melt the elites, but then the reds could just walk straight into you.
I remember it was Division 1 and Division 2, I'm pretty sure it was both of them. The freaking like Major League Baseball grenade throwers.
Oh my god, yeah.
Perfect accuracy. You gain
every
time.
time.
Second. Oh look, there's a grenade right on top of you. Okay, move to this.
That's the same on COD as well. COD story mode, where they just launch him from nowhere constantly. Land at your feet perfectly, like.
It's nuts. And for specifically to the Division, for a cover-based shooter to be rooted out by grenades every second was so frustrating.
Yeah.
Why am I taking cover at all?
It wasn't even the fact that, people might listen and think, oh, they're just bad, they suck. It was literally, you getting cover for a second, and there's a grenade on you, and you have to move. And as soon as you get to that other bit of cover, as soon as you take cover behind it, there is another grenade.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably stay for 3 seconds.
I can unequivocally say, as a team that we were all part of a clan, a very successful clan. We were in the top 100 in the world on the raid. Okay, it's not top 10, but consider how many players played this game. To reach top 100 is pretty incredible, and I was very pleased with that. So we weren't We weren't just, complaining because we were shit. We were complaining because the balance was shit.
Yeah.
We
Especially
were
when you're
still
playing
good
on
at the
the
game.
hardest difficulty. And
Yeah.
the grenades can potentially one-shot you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I obviously always play glass cannon builds. I wanted to do as much damage as possible, but I died in one shot.
It's why I stopped doing glass cannon and went to pure tank.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle made really good tank builds as well. Kyle was practically the reason that got us through our first legendary run, I think.
Yeah,
With like the team tank sharing.
Yeah, I was just tank support. I did no damage, but I kept everyone up when everyone went down.
Kept everyone. Yeah.
Stood there taking shots, just slowly pick you up.
Mhm.
You get a magic sponge on the knee.
It was troublesome when
Rub,
like
rub.
when we got to like the legendary stuff, and even I was going down in like 2 shots. I don't know how you guys stayed
yeah.
alive. Like,
Not
Bobbing and
poking my
weaving.
head up. That's what was wild about it, and that's what the balance problem is that still persists in the Division 2. That you can make a full blue build, and for people that aren't familiar with the division, that's essentially you get a choice of what green, red, and blue. Red is attack
Yellow.
power.
Yellow skill.
Yeah, yellow's skill, and blue is shield armor. The more blue you've got, the more armor you get. But there's only a certain amount of slot allocations, and if you go full blue, which is the maximum amount of armor that you can achieve if you get all god rolls, because it's RNG based as well. Even if you've got god roll armor for everything, you can still die in seconds. It's nuts. And health gets chipped away when your armor gets broken, but health is a pointless stat.
Health's pretty useless.
Even if you went max health, you could be one shot by, and I'm talking a single bullet from a burst of a fully automatic weapon. That first bullet that hits you can wipe out your health in its entirety. It was pointless.
yeah,
So that needed
we're
rebalancing as
talking
well.
about the fact that we have like what was it, 3-4 million armor, and
Yeah.
that would go instantly in about 2
Mhm.
seconds of direct fire, and your health would be like
Yeah,
100,000.
even with your big shield, which had another 10 mil armor.
Yeah.
Well, I think a pure tank max roll was something like between 12 and 13 million armor or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And considering my glass cannon build was roughly 2 million armor, and I got one shot. It went through my armor and decimated my health
Yeah, enemies were
in
doing
one
like
shot.
1 million per burst, like per round.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
That's when number scaling just
That's
gets
why
a bit too stupid.
the ultimate regen armor from the second raid.
Yeah, that was
Basically
pretty
made
cool.
it meta, didn't it?
Yeah. But it made gear sets like the Hunter gear set, where it relied on you being close quarters, fairly hard to play. Because I made that build where you do damage to yourself when you reload, but every time you get a kill, you regen health. And every time you walk over a corpse, you pick up a trophy, which increases your health, increases your damage, increases your armor. And then you essentially rely on shots and kills to regenerate your health before they can wipe out your armor.
But if you
Problem
miss
was,
2 shots, bang,
you miss a
dead.
shot, you're dead. Yeah. Or you spend a second trying to acquire a target, you're dead. So, although that build was fun, say hard mode, anything higher than hard, completely unusable. But there we go. Yeah.
All right. So, have you heard the Sonic Origins has some bullshit DLC and pre-order bonuses?
I'm looking at the chart right now.
Oh dear. After the game's announcement on 21st of April, a chart has been posted on its official site, hopefully outlining for fans the many, many ways they can access different levels of content. The only way to get everything is predictably to both pre-order the game and make sure it was the digital deluxe edition. If you didn't and still wanted to get everything on offer, you would need to buy it separately as our favorite word here, guys. DLC.
Come on.
DLC.
A little bit of DLC.
Yeah. So, have you both got the chart? Can you both see the chart?
Yes, up here.
So, effectively, we'll go through this And I've made a point of not looking at this chart before now, other than I took a glance at it when it first released, and I thought, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But I've not
is this
looked at it
an
in
actual
depth.
chart?
This is the actual chart.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
This is on their website, and this shows the charts that for the audience that are listening, the charts that kind of show all the different versions of the game and what benefits you'll get with each different version. So if you buy the standard edition of the game, you get the main game. That's it.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Which, okay, you're thinking, yeah, I'll buy the game. I'll get the game. Great. Okay. But you can add to the main game by purchasing separately the Start Dash Pack, which will give you 100 bonus coins. Coins. Sonic collects rings.
Not when he's hanging out
Dumbass.
with Mario.
And a letterbox background. But then again, it does say
mirror
free
mode.
DLC included with the pre-order of a
Yeah.
standard digital, so it comes already.
Yeah. Yes, if you pre-order, then you get the Start Dash Pack. If you don't pre-order, you don't, and you have to pay for it separately. So you get the 100 bonus coins, you get mirror mode, and you get letterbox background. I assume that is just like a. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try. Then you got the premium fun pack, which is another separate DLC, which gives you hard missions. Again, the letterbox background, character animation in the main menu, so the main menu characters just move. Camera controls over the main menu islands. What? You want me to pay to move the camera in the main menu?
Yes.
Hey man,
No.
you've got to have a better look at those islands.
Character animations during music islands? What? And that's it. That's what you get for the premium fun pack. Classic music pack. Unsurprisingly, gives you classic music. But if you buy
Good
the
old
digital
Mega
deluxe
Drive
edition,
music. Yeah.
if you buy the digital deluxe edition, you get all of that. But no, you don't really, because you don't get the Start Dash pack still, unless you've pre-ordered the digital.
Yeah, you don't
deluxe.
get that letterbox background.
And you also don't get the 100 bonus coins, and you also don't get mirror mode unless you've pre-ordered the digital deluxe. So if you buy the digital deluxe, but don't pre-order, then you still have to buy the Start Dash pack separately.
I'm still stunned that you have to basically buy an extra pack or a DLC to get hard mode. Like hard mode.
Well, the only other game I remember that did that was Metro. They sold Ranger mode, which was the hardest mode, and that was DLC.
Yeah.
That was effectively like no HUD, one-shot kills, and I was 18 and stupid and bought it.
Hey. Works.
It works. But yeah. So we've taken 5 minutes to decipher the chart. What do we think?
That's just ridiculous. I mean, hard mode should be standard on every game, anywhere. So the fact that you've got to now DLC it is ridiculous in itself. Classic music, that should just be an unlockable, surely.
Surely, yeah. But
it
why
should
when you
be
could pay for it?
Something in the game that you should unlock. I mean, if you really
Maybe
want to listen to the classic...
that's it. Maybe that's just I'm hoping. Let me just spitball this. I'm hoping it's all unlockable, but if you want to get it quickly, there's DLC for it.
No way. There's no way that they're gonna do
Come on,
that.
you got to cut them a little bit of slack just in case.
I'm not cutting them any slack at all.
I mean, you could be right, but I don't think you are. That's as bad as it sounds.
Man. All right, gonna have to play it and find out, aren't we, guys? There you go. Next game on the list.
It is. Which edition are you guys getting?
Oh well.
I'm gonna get the bog standard edition, so I can prove you all wrong.
It sounds like
Or
something
cry.
out of like EA's playbook with like 2K games. It's like, you know, WWE 2K22 whatever. It's like, okay, we're fine.
You get your own signature Nike shoes if you pre-order it.
Yeah. If you
Well,
if you buy the base game,
funnily enough,
you get your base wrestler. If you buy the
Yeah.
DLC, you can have a classic wrestler.
Yeah.
If you buy this, you can get an extra steel chair unlock. It's like, how far
Still
can you
chair that
strip a
says
game back?
"Thank you" on the back of it.
Devolver Digital. I don't know if either of you follow Devolver Digital on Twitter, but the community manager for that studio is a comedy genius, and they are behind the upcoming game, another game that I'm really looking forward to, Trek to Yomi, which is kind of like black and white 2D side scroller version of Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
Oh,
I think you'd
decent.
really, I think you'd really like this, Parky, if you haven't seen it yet. It's quite literally like a Kurosawa film in 2D side scrolling. It looks excellent. But they've released a chart of game release options in response to the Sonic one, and it's quite literally all of the versions are along the top, as is the Sonic one. So you've got PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. And they've all got pre-order now underneath it. And it's got all down the left, all the stuff you get with it. So you've got Trek to Yomi base game, 10% off, epic journey through Underworld and back, stunning visuals, remarkable soundtrack, progressively complex combat, full credits at the end, and then all of the boxes are ticked. All of them. For every version. You get everything with everything. And for some reason they give you 10% off with everything if you pre-order it. Great. Awesome. I like this discount trend of pre-orders, because it's the only thing that sweetens the deal for a pre-order for me.
Yeah, it makes sense because otherwise, if you're gonna buy the game like me with Horizon, if you're gonna buy the game but maybe not on day one, you just wait until it's on sale. Because give it
Exactly,
3
yeah.
months and they'll probably be a 10% off, 20% off. So at least
Exactly,
this way
yeah.
you feel like you're still getting a deal for buying it before it comes out.
I just thought it was hilarious that Devolver Digital came out with their own chart and just ticked all the boxes.
You buy the game, you get the game and everything else.
That's unheard of. Oh dear.
I don't get the intro music thing. I mean, surely people can't actually buy that. I know there'll always be somebody, but like, don't most
There's
people
gonna be
just
some.
go on Spotify and search up like old, like what is it, 8-bit Sonic music or something like that? Surely that's just the way you do it.
Surely, yeah.
If
But there's
you
gonna be
wanted to listen to 8-bit music.
There's gonna be some hardcore fan or some kid with their mom's credit card
Yeah.
that wants to listen to old Sonic music, and then the kid will be like, "What the fuck's this? Never listen to this again. This sounds awful." Because they're not used to 8-bit music, even though 8-bit music is fantastic.
It's like buying the Steelbook and then not having the disc included.
Didn't they do that with Resident Evil 8?
The disc with DLC.
Yeah. Yeah. You buy the game, you get the Steelbook, but then the DLC is the actual disc inside. And then you need a future DLC to get the code to unlock the game.
Oh man,
Oh dear. Moving
what
on.
is this industry descended
Got some
into?
quick news points.
Before we do though,
So bad.
before we move on to quick news points, do you want to talk quickly about PS Plus, or do you want to do that after?
I was going to bang it down at the game releases.
Okay, let's continue then.
Yeah. Cheer me in on 3. 4 classic Siphon Filter games have been rated for PS4 and PS5. Anyone play Siphon Filter?
Yes, I played a Siphon Filter on PS1.
Couldn't tell you which one it was.
I will look while you two talk about your experiences with Siphon Filter, if any. Oh, quite literally the first one. Never mind, I found it.
Yeah, I played
Siphon
the
Filter
first
1.
one. Story was alright.
Yeah, and I never figured out how to beat the last boss.
Yeah, I was quite young. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Gotta
me
get
too.
back to it then.
2007. No, it wasn't 2000. 1999. There we go. First release. 1999. I was 9 years old.
Yep. Enjoy it. Very enjoyable game.
You get a date in the episode. You've just dated yourself.
PS Plus has a release date, and
It's my birthday.
I was like, wait, it's my birthday?
It's my birthday.
It's on my birthday.
See to launch the new service as previously discussed in the podcast.
Yes.
which is
So I might
obviously
just get it for myself as my birthday
nothing
present
for
then.
bad omens, right?
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Uh,
So PS Plus has obviously released their new games
yep.
coming out soon.
For May.
FIFA 22.
Great.
And I'm
That's
excited
weird,
for that.
man. I don't ever recall FIFA being a PS Plus game. Am I wrong or?
I think we have had one before, but it was a few years back. It was
Yeah,
on
that's
PS3, I think.
Ah,
Maybe
just
18.
don't remember.
FIFA 18? No, FIFA 18 was
I wouldn't
2019.
think they would release the new one though, or newer one.
Oh no.
The thing
God,
is,
no.
don't they normally release FIFA 23 soon?
Like September
Yeah,
or
end of
something.
year.
Is it end of year? I
Yeah.
always thought
Probably
it
going to
was
be
like, I always
released
thought
in time for the World
FIFA
Cup,
got
isn't it?
released like earlier. Although I suppose it's
It
end of
definitely gets released before the year of its title.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
end of the football season, isn't it, that they release it, or the start of the new season or
Mm.
something.
Football?
Soccer,
Ball of foot.
Soccer?
soccer.
All right. Anyway, moving on from that. Tribes of Midgard.
This looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard very, very good things about this. It's 93% positive
Decent.
on Steam, I believe, or something similar. 75% on OpenCritic. It's like a survival Viking type game.
It's set in Norse sort of mythology type thing.
Yeah. It looks really good, to be fair. I mean, its genres are listed as survival game, roguelike, action role-playing game, indie game, adventure game, shooter video game. I assume you got bows and arrows then, and fighting game.
So
That's
it's
a bit
basically
awkward.
every game genre you can be.
It's all of the genres. All of the
Decent.
genres. All of the boxes are ticked. It
Definitely
does
going
look
to be
really
adding
good
that
though.
to my library.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be downloading
And
that.
Spirit of the Dead Gods,
Yes.
which you were
This looks.
saying earlier, looks really decent.
I really enjoyed Darkest Dungeon. I think this is like a spiritual successor to that. Curse of the Dead Gods. I think it's slightly different format in the way that it plays because it's like a Diablo isometric type dungeon crawler rather than a turn-based tactical RPG style. Same art style though, it's like gritty, but cartoony, and like comic book style. Yeah, kind of like comic book style, but very dark and gothic.
Kind
It
of
look
like, oh, what was that? Oh, there was an old school game that people love with a cow level, Diablo. Kind of
Diablo.
like a Diablo type thing.
Yeah, it's exactly like it's like comic book Diablo. It looks really good, really, really good. And like I say, it looks like a. I think it's by the same team as the ones that released Darkest Dungeon. I'm really looking forward to this because I wanted to pick it up when it came out and just never had time. And then I kind of forgot about it, I guess. So now this is my chance to play it. Did either of you play Darkest Dungeon?
Not at all.
No.
It's incredible. If you like turn-based stuff or tactical things, I know you like tactical stuff, Carl, because we played Divinity together. I know you like turn-based stuff, Parky, because you played Persona. It is the best of both. You've got permadeath, so you cultivate a team and you upgrade each individual team member. You can have substitutes, and you need them because after every dungeon crawl, your team members go mad and they get stressed, and the more stress they have, they
So
need
like
to rest in
XCOM.
town. It's kind of like XCOM, yeah, where damage persists after battles and dungeon crawls, but so does stress. So you need to let them relax while you send in another team to the dungeon, and if you send in a stressed teammate, then they could have a heart attack, which obviously kills them.
Yay.
And it's really good. It is really good, and some enemies specifically they don't technically do damage to you, but they like cast curses on you, and it increases your stress rather than decreases your health. But obviously, you've got to manage your stress just as much as your health, because if you have a heart attack, you're dead. And if you fully upgrade a character and they end up having a heart attack, tough shit, they're dead now. You can't bring them back. And there's different character classes that you can implement in the team, and different team synergies work in different ways. Darkest Dungeon's fantastic. It is such a good game, and it's dirt cheap on the PSN now. It's well worth it if you just want to have a quick blast on a game for a couple of hours or so.
Yeah, it does sound like XCOM and kind of, is it Golden Sun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like I say, dark, gritty comic book style, 2D graphics, side scroller. It's interesting the way they lay out the dungeon, because it is literally side scroll. But if you play it or look at a trailer, you'll see exactly what I mean. It's very, very good.
All right.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
So that takes us on to the game releases for week beginning 25th of the 4th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Dune, Spice Wars, PC, April 26th. The Serpent Rogue, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, Switch, and that is it, April 26th. MLB The Show, yay.
Yay.
Switch,
One
April
Sony
27th.
exclusive.
This one I'm looking forward to, the Stanley Parable.
Yeah, the classic PC game is finally coming to console.
Finally released. Coming out again on PC, obviously. PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch. April 27th. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt.
This is the one that
April 27th.
Yeah, so that came out yesterday.
A long time ago. It's the one where you're a vampire and you can wander the streets and stuff like that.
So this is
that the one I'm thinking of?
I think this is the new one, the new free-to-play one that I messaged about yesterday. Or no, the day before, sorry.
Okay.
On Tuesday. Yeah. And as far as I know, it's PS5 exclusive. It is a PS5 exclusive, yeah. It's like a vampire battle royale, I guess, but multiplayer. I'm tempted to just give it a go, because it looks quite cool. To be honest, it looks really good. I wonder where this leaves games, because Redfall for now Xbox, that was being developed by a Bethesda studio, effectively promised what this game is. So if this game is popular or very good, then it softens the blow of losing Redfall to, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, let's download it. We'll have
a blast.
A game that we can all actually have a laugh together on.
Yay.
Again. Speaking of games we can laugh at, Warzone Season 3. PC, PS4, Xbox One, April 27th. Bugsnax.
It's losing its exclusive status. It's
Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Switch, April 28th. Bugsnax are a big snacks update. That's a mouthful. PC, PS5, Xbox X. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, April 28th. The Kaiju Wars, PC, April 28th. Capital Sparks of Revolution, PC, April 28th. Trigon Space Story, sounds exciting. PC, April 28th. PC's getting a lot of nice releases. Nintendo Switch Sports. Huzzah! Another sports game for the Switch.
Essentially
April
a
29th.
sequel to the Wii Sports, I guess.
I hope it's good. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's enough Mario Olympics and stuff like that out.
I don't know why they didn't release it when the Switch came out. I mean, you can
it baffles me.
Sports stuff with it.
Because Wii Sports wasn't that like the second best-selling video game in history?
Yeah.
Which came out with every Wii console.
Yes, it did. However, that does mean that many people still played it.
Yep. if not everybody who owned one, because it was new. It was, and then even the PlayStation brought out when they brought out their motion remotes, they brought out a sports game,
It was the
which
fourth,
was pretty laughable.
apparently.
It was the fourth.
Fourth best-selling video game of all time.
Okay.
First is Minecraft with 238 million sales.
Decent.
Second is Grand Theft Auto 5 with 160 million.
Shocker.
Does that count because you bought it twice or three times?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
And obviously it's been offered on, I think it's PS Plus. It's been on before and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tetris by EA, 100 million. I presume that's not the original Tetris and maybe some variations of it, but
perhaps, yeah.
And then Wii Sports is 82.9 million.
Wow.
Jeez. Well done, Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Well done, Wii Sports.
Carrying on. Ravenous Devils, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, April 29th. And then Sea of Craft on the PC, April 29th. Looking forward to most of those games, to be fair.
Fabulous.
Which brings us on to our closing comments. Well, anyone got any comments? Let's go to Stu first, huh? You normally have something decent and exciting to say. Hype up the crowd.
I would like to expand on a private conversation we had. Don't worry, Parky. Nothing saucy. When we were talking about potential sequels to Elden Ring, I know we'll come back to Elden Ring, but we might not be talking about it for too many more weeks now, so I'm going to milk it all I can. I'm interested in the sense that we'll probably get an Elden Ring sequel. I think we will get an Elden Ring sequel. I think it'll be a sequel in the sense that we've had with Dark Souls, though, where it's so obscure that it's technically in the world, but so far removed that only elements of the previous game remain, and it is just a continuation of whatever the hell you're doing in the same universe. I think the continuation of the direct story that you're probably alluding to with certain endings is going to be DLC. I think with Elden Ring, because we had a fair few DLC for, say, Dark Souls 2. The worst Dark Souls in the series. But I think we had 3 DLC for that. Dark Souls 3 received DLC. Dark Souls 1 received DLC,
Could you imagine if it took your save from Elden Ring and put your character as the big bad in the next one?
See, it's interesting you say that, having never played Demon Souls, because there was a mechanic in Demon Souls where you were the boss for another player. So you could be the reason that someone is struggling to progress, because the invasion mechanic.
Yeah.
That's been present all the way through since Demon Souls. But it was such a clever way of implementing it. There was a very specific area where if you put on a headpiece armor, and it's a weird thing, like it passes down right from the very beginning. So I got to a certain point where I beat this boss, and this boss was another player for me. But then you get the headpiece they wear, and then unlocking that headpiece means that you can then act as the boss for someone else. And this all stemmed down from the very first player that encountered one of the developers. The developer was the first iteration of the multiplayer boss. So then that person became a boss for X person, and however many times they acted as the boss. Because you can do it as many times as you want until you get bored. And obviously you're matched with different people every time. And if you, as the player, keep matching with a boss but keep getting beaten, you might come up against someone who's just totally trash at PvP and trounce the boss. You might come up against a complete expert at PvP and get absolutely thrashed. It was so interesting. It was so clever. And I thoroughly enjoyed being the boss for someone, because it was such a weird experience to know that I'm the health bar at the bottom of the screen now. It's so cool.
And then they one-shot you, and you're like, ah.
Yeah. But it was so cool, and that is really interesting. Maybe we could see that in an Elden Ring sequel. Maybe that would be cool. And also interestingly, there was another get a very obscure game series called Digital Devil Saga, and I mentioned Nocturne or Lucifer's Call to you before when we were talking about Persona a while ago, and they re-released it on PS4 if you remember, and I said I recommended it to you. It is very, very good. It's very dated, and it's got Dante in it from Devil May Cry, but it's kind of like a turn-based Pokemon style where you collect monsters, fuse the monsters together, make new ones. Turn-based RPG. But in Digital Devil Saga, which was of the same vein, so it was a Shin Megami Tensei game, as is Persona technically. Persona's a spin-off of SMT. But the main character from Nocturne, or Lucifer's Call, depending on your geography, it was Lucifer's Call in Europe, Nocturne in America. The main character of that game was a secret boss in Digital Devil Saga. And it was the hardest boss in the game, and it had all of the abilities that the original game's character could have. And fucking hard as nails, but such a cool boss fight. Because it weirdly fit in with the story that it could be possible.
Yeah, as long as they don't do something like call it Elden Rings.
Elden Rings. Yeah. Did you know as well that a bit of trivia, a few bits of trivia, if you piece all the great runes together, it recreates the Elden Ring, which I think is fairly obvious. It's just when it's pointed out to you, it's like, oh yeah. If you look at the map for Elden Ring, as in the whole world map, and zoom out, it's like a hooked shape, isn't it, that goes round?
Yeah.
You know the multiplayer item, the furled finger?
Yeah.
You rotate that picture, it fits perfectly in with the map. So the map of Elden Ring is a curled finger.
Well, I suppose it makes sense considering the whole story is about the fingers.
Yeah.
Or fingers.
It's fucking wild, though. It blew my mind, that did. And then the last bit of trivia, well, there's loads of bits of trivia, but I won't go into all because we'll be here for hours and hours because I've been watching lots of YouTube videos today. All of the Divine Towers are in a perfect circle around the map.
Yeah.
Which is
If
cool.
you've been to them all, you could see them all.
Yeah.
The Divine Towers are basically one of the rings.
Yeah. Well, they contain all of the remnants of the Great Runes, don't they? So you get a Great Rune, you climb a Divine Tower and essentially reactivate the rune. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. Ramblings of an idiot.
Oh, we did miss something, right?
So
Did we?
Sifu additional content.
Oh yeah, our favourite game. How could we forget?
How could we forget?
Kyle, you might want to phase out for a second.
Yeah, I mean, I was just going to add my closing comments and disappear.
Oh, well, carry on.
Yes, Elden Ring will get a DLC.
Yes.
But also, when is Sons of the Forest coming out? And when is Bully 2 coming out? Those are the real questions.
They are the real questions.
Some pretty good questions.
Well, The Forest was a great game, and there's been a sequel announced, and there's been gameplay footage, but...
Bully 2's been announced, but gone into development hell as per most games they announce. They say, oh yeah, it'd be fun to make Bully 2, and then just disappear and forget all about it.
Yeah, I wonder if you get away with the same concept nowadays, though, of Bully 2.
Probably.
I mean, it's Rockstar, and they can do whatever they want.
I guess so.
I'm pretty sure they've announced it's still in development, but who knows?
Who knows? Very good question. Yeah.
Yeah, we're nearly at the 2-hour mark, so hurry up with these seafood comments.
Well, all it is we get new stuff in spring, summer, and fall, and winter, autumn, should I say? Not fall.
Probably
Autumn
just going to be a new level or new.
It's the new difficulties. It's scoring and multiplier system, so make it arcadey. Replay editor, so you can make essentially film clips of martial art movies yourself, which is quite cool, and like a battle arena thing, and that's it. And,
all right.
Let's wrap it up before we all decay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're done. Been the longest episode yet.
Yep.
It has.
The shortest script yet.
We got carried away.
Oh, what a shame. Well, as always, thank you guys for joining us. Been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's been fun as always.
Very enjoyable. Yeah. I'm not going to go and play Elden Ring, which is the first time I've been able to say that in weeks.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Have fun.
No, I'm going to go and play Slay the Spire.
Whee.
All right.
Hey.
All right, guys. See you next
All right.
week. Same
Yep.
place.
See you
same
next
place,
week.
same
Very
time.
much. Bye.
Kudos.
Bye.